All right, friends, today we're going to be making our Day of the Dead skulls. You're going to be given some scratch board paper and a scratch tool that looks like this. It's a little wooden tool. You want to use the pointed end to get your scratch on your paper. With the scratch paper, it's very important that you understand that you have to learn as an artist to go with your mistakes. So if you make a mistake, go with it. You can't erase. There's no erasers on these. Erasers don't work on this. And also just remember to push really lightly with your wooden tool, otherwise it will ruin your scratch paper. So what we're going to do first is just outline the skull. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to first start with the chin and lip area. So you're going to come a little bit below the halfway point in the middle of your paper. Notice I have it the tall vertical way. And you're going to do an upside down heart. This is going to be the nose, and it does not have to be perfect. After that, we're going to do a curve that goes from the crease in the heart all the way to the other end of the paper. This is going to be the lip area, so I'm going to go in and curve up on one side and try to keep them the same on both sides because we are going to be doing that throughout our whole drawing. Now we're going to do the teeth area. So I'm going to do a square. Basically, I'm going to come in the middle of that rounded part, draw a line on this side, do the same thing over here, try to keep them the same length, and then do a line that goes across and meets both. Okay, after that, we're going to do a number 3 that's sideways under that line we just drew. So right here, you're going to do a bump that curves in. This is the chin. And then you're going to do one on the other side that meets over here. After that, we're going to do a line that comes down. That's going to be the neck part of your skull or the spine. And you're going to just do some lines that go horizontally across to meet each side. So now to make it look like we have teeth, we're going to do some half circles that bump along the bottom edge here. And then we're going to do the same thing here. We're now going to come above here and about in the middle area here, I'm going to do a filled in circle. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. And I'm going to think about a shape that I would like to do for the outside part of my eye. Now, usually it's just a circle, but in Day of the Dead, we, want to use a lot of shapes. A lot of times you see flowers, hearts, tons of different shapes. So think of a shape you want to do. And this one, I just did a heart. But if I wanted to do even just, even like a triangle on each side around the pupil part of the eye I drew, I can. I want to try to keep them the same. So you're going to think of a shape you want to do on the outside edge of that, and you're going to go ahead right now and do that. All right, and now we're going to draw a line that goes down the middle of the face. This is going to help us with the symmetry. Remember, symmetry is when things are the same on both sides. So you're going to think of a pattern line you want to go down the face. So here I have just zigzag polka dots. I'm just for this one, I'm going to change it up and just do like a wavy line that goes down, meets the nose, and then it's going to stop between the nose and teeth, and then do that in the chin. And that basically is broken it up. So I now have 2 sides, and I'm going to mirror things on both sides. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is some kind of line pattern that goes around, or shape pattern that goes around the edge of the bottom of the lips. So in here I did triangles, but maybe here, I don't know, friends, maybe here I'm going to do half circles. And I'm just going to go around. And now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. This is going to help us fill the space. And remember, it has to be the same on each side. Okay. Now I'm going to think of a line or shape pattern that I want to go around my shape that I did around my eye. So in my hearts, I just did another heart. I traced that heart over. So maybe I won't do that this time. Maybe I'll just repeat what I did here, and I'm going to do a bumpy line. But you can follow along the edge of that shape, and you can do whatever pattern, shape pattern you want. You can even just trace around it like I did in my original. All right, I still have a lot of symmetry going on. Great. Now I'm gonna do the same thing around my nose, and this time I'm just gonna trace around it. Okay, so I have that. I noticed that I have this cheekbone area that's really empty. So in here I did some cool flowers, but you friends can do any shape you want for that area. Maybe in this guy I'm gonna do some hearts. All right, so now I'm gonna go in the chin, and I'm gonna do a shape or line on each side. And remember, it has to be the same. So this I did swirls. Maybe here I'll do some crisscross lines on each side. I'm gonna think about the negative space around here. So I gotta think about the background. I'm gonna do some kind of pattern in the background behind the skull. Here I did some diagonal lines, but maybe in this one, I'm just gonna do some wavy lines. And they're gonna go behind the skull. All right, friends, so you have a good start now. I would like you now to go in, and I really want you to look and start adding your own details. I want you to fill the space in with a couple more things. Like for example, I could probably do something above my eyes, like this. I could go in and maybe outline these hearts here. So if there's anywhere else you want to add a little bit more detail, go ahead. But please make sure that you are doing the same thing on both sides. So whatever I did to this side, I have to do to this side. After you have that done, now we can go in and start to add some even more details and patterns like I did in here inside of the details I already have. So think about where you would like to maybe fill some stuff in. So maybe I want to fill in every other bump around my eye. Maybe around the hearts I want to go in and do some small little pattern in this little space I have. Maybe I want to do this. So I'm just going to keep going in, and I'm going to just keep doing the same thing on both sides. And now I'm going to start to fill areas in and do some more patterns and designs. All right, my friends, that's looking pretty good. I'm now going to go in. I've got a lot of detail on this compared to before. This is something that's going to take time. I'm going to go in, flip this over, add some glue. You will be given a piece of color paper at your table. You need to glue this on your paper, so please make sure that your name is on your new piece of paper. So this paper I gave you to glue this on, your name needs to be on the back so that when I glue this on top, I now know this belongs to you. I'm gonna eyeball it and do my very best to make sure that it's right in the middle of that construction piece of paper. This needs to be even on all 4 sides. So if it's off or crooked, it won't be right. Very carefully with your hand, you're going to smooth this out without rubbing too much. It will ruin the scratch board. And then you're going to get Sharpies of your choice, and you're going to draw a line from corner to corner on each side. You could use either your colored Sharpies or your black Sharpies. And you're going to repeat a line across that's the same. So think of a line you want to do on your top and bottom. Okay, now we're going to do the same on the edge to edge. Think of a line you would like to do and repeat it. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to go in with some crayons, and we're going to color between those lines. If you want some of the construction paper to still show, you can leave some of it. pick any colors of your choice. I would like you to go in to make them nice and bright and opaque, which means that they're solid. You're gonna go in and you're gonna color very hard in between your lines to add some extra color. Remember, try going in different directions with your crayon. Hold it by the tip. Be careful not to rub your arm on your scratch board. If you have to move your paper like this to help you, that's fine. So I like to outline around the lines first and then fill them in. I go in multiple layers back and forth. Think as an artist, you want nice craftsmanship, so take your time and notice how bright and filled in that is. You want to now do that to all areas, and it's up to you how much of the original construction paper is showing. So that's it, my friends.